Nomor peserta 15. Nomor peserta 1516 dengan nomor urut tampil 12 mendapatkan paket soal tahfiz nomor 5 dan soal tafsir huruf S. Huruf S. Tuh.
A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wadda katsirun min ahlil kitab law yaruddunakum min ba'di imanikum kuffara. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wadda katsirun min ahlil kitab law yaruddunakum min ba'di imanikum kuffara hasadan min 'indi anfusihim min ba'di ma tabayyana lahumul haqq fa'fu wasfahu hatta ya'tiyallahu bi amrihi innallaha 'ala kulli syai'in qadir. Wa aqimus salata wa atuz zakah wa ma tuqaddimu li anfusikum min khairin tajiduhu 'indallah innallaha bima ta'maluna basir. Yamsaskum qarhun faqad massal qawma qarhun mithluh yamsaskum qarhun faqad massal qawma qarhun mithluh wa tilkal ayyamu nudawiluha bainan nas wa liya'lamallahu alladhina amanu wa yattakhidha minkum shuhada wallahu la yuhibbul zalimin. وَلِيُمَحِّصَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَيَمْحَقَ الْكَافِرِينَ أَمْ حَسِبْتُمْ الصابرين.
إنما وليكم الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة إنما وليكم الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة
إنما وليكم الله والذين آمنوا إنما وليكم الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة وهم راكعون. ومن يتول الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا فإن حزب الله هم الغالبون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا الذين اتخذوا دينكم هزوا ولعبا من الذين أوتوا الكتاب من قبلكم والكفار أولياء واتقوا الله إن كنتم مؤمنين.
أو خلقا مما يكبر في صدوركم فسيقولون من يعيدنا
أو خلقا مما يكبر في صدوركم فسيقولون من يعيدنا قل الذي فطركم أول مرة فسينغضون إليك رؤوسهم ويقولون متاه قل عسى أن يكون قريبا. يوم يدعوكم فتستجيبون بحمده وتظنون إن لبثتم إلا قليلا. وقل لعبادي يقولوا التي هي أحسن إن الشيطان ينزغ بينهم إن الشيطان ربكم الذي إن الشيطان كان للإنسان عدوا مبينا قل ادعوا الذين
ربكم أعلم بكم إن يشأ يرحمكم أو إن يشأ يعذبكم
ربكم أعلم بكم إن يشأ يعذبكم إن يشأ يرحمكم أو إن يشأ يعذبكم وما أرسلناك عليهم وكيلا
Ready? Are you ready?
Insyaallah.
Inshallah. Good answer. Barakallah. Okay. So please read Yunus 59. Yunus 59.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أرأيتم ما أنزل الله لكم من رزق فجعلتم منه حراما وحلالا قل الله أذن لكم أم على الله تفترون.
Barakallah. Okay. What the meaning of adina lakum?
Permit you.
Taftarun.
You have, they have, or they make.
أرأيتم.
Have you seen?
Okay. حراما وحلالا.
Forbidden or haram, halala, allowance or allowed,
أنزل.
send down.
Okay. So please tell me about historical background from this verse. Is there a historical background?
I think there isn't.
You think?
I think there isn't.
Sure?
Yeah, actually, maybe there is, but I didn't get a chance to read it, so I can't answer the historical background.
Okay. So please tell me about munasabah, correlation with before. The first or two verses before.
Okay, so this particular ayah, the number 59, it has a connection or correlation to the ayah before. Is that this ayah is telling humankind that Allah has sent down, or Allah has created anything on the earth which you can access, whether it is anything you can access on the earth, and then Allah made prohibition and allowance. While the ayah before, it's telling you about our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that only with our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his blessing, or Allah's blessing, or Allah's merciful, only with those two things you could be happy, and that's better than anything the humankind could find on the earth.
Okay, so from these two verses, what the correlation, the real correlation before 59 and 58, the good connection with those two verses, how?
So it begins from the ayah before, the number 57, when Allah said, Ya ayuhan nas, qad ja'atkum maw'idatun min rabbikum wa shifaa' qul lima fi suduri wa hudan wa rahmatun lil mu'minin. So basically Allah want to say that our Prophet comes with deen, which is called Islam, and Islam comes within the advices, and also it becomes the cure of your hearts, and also a guidance and mercy for the believers.
Okay, so now please interpret this ayah, interpretation.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul ara'aytum ma anzalallahu lakum min rizqin faj'altum minhu haraman wa halala. Qul, or say, O Muhammad, ara'aytum ma anzalallahu lakum min rizqin, have you seen, or did you see what Allah has sent down to you or upon you from, or as rizq, or the gift, or preservation, what Allah preserved on the earth. فَجَعَلْتُ مِنْهُ حَرَامًا وَحَلَالًا, and then you classified them, the risk, into the haram, whether it is haram or halal. قُلْ اللَّهُ أَذِنَ لَكُمْ أَمْ عَلَى اللَّهِ تَفْتَرُونَ. Is it based on the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or do you make it on your own. So it's basically telling us, this ayah is telling us that those prohibitions and allowances is only the authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is the one who could classify anything on the earth, things, living things or non-living things. Yeah, we basically find it in our foods, and yeah, basically our foods. Yeah, we find that the ham, we could not eat it because it is prohibited. It's haram. And then if the ham is haram, then what we could eat then? There are chicken, beef, and other foods. So the prohibitions and the allowances, it's in the authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and no one could ever determine it is haram or it is halal, because we know that the Jewish people or the Jewish people or the Jews, they have something like ohab or something. They have a term for food. Yeah, they could not eat it. So in Islam, we only know two terms, which are haram or halal. So قُلْ اللَّهُ أَذِنَ لَكُمْ أَمْ عَلَى اللَّهِ تَفْتَرُونَ. So is it from your own, or is it from the laws of Allah which has been revealed to you?
That's all?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me discuss you about this ayah, مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ مِنْ رِزْقٍ, in this verse. While in another verses, Allah says, even used to use the term of anzalna or razaqna. What the difference between two verses? While Allah said in this verse, Allah just dealt with himself.
Anzal, the word of anzal, it's more general. But then, if we come to the word of razaqa, yarzuqu, it's more specific.
Okay.
Like when Allah wants to give the believers a reward, Allah wants to reward the believers, we find a lot of places that saying razaqna. And if you come to the word of anzala, and nazala yanzilu or anzala yanzilu, it's more general. You could use it whether it is something bad or something good. But razaq, it's for the good things.
Okay, I got the point, but then I asked you about who is doing anzalallah with his self, while in the other verses Allah say razaqna with na.
Okay. So it's the nun.
Na, it means nahnu, plural.
It's okay. Yeah, I got it. So it's the nun we're talking about. So, like the question you've asked the previous participants, that sometimes Allah will use the subject or the dhamir nahnu, because of course Allah is the Almighty. Allah is capable of anything without help from His creation. Of course, we know it. But Allah Allah has created angels, prophets, humans, non-living things, living things. So whenever Allah uses the dhamir nahnu, so we could know that in this particular activity, Allah involves His creation, whether it is angel, or the prophets. Yeah. So in this particular ayah, why Allah said no? In this ayah, Allah is not using the dhamir.
Okay. Second question is فَجَعَلْتُم مِّنْهُ حَرَامًا وَحَلَالًا. So what will be or something will happen when you eat or consume just something halal or haram? What will you get in your living or your life or your hereafter? In your maybe your family, what will you get when you consume or something haram or not good?
Okay, so if we ever try to eat something that is forbidden or that is not allowed to, so basically we will get the punishment in hereafter. And then also from the perspective of medical, it's like we find that things are forbidden. They're basically harmful for you, like the ham, pork. Why it is forbidden? Because from the perspective of the medical, it says that the pork, it's containing more worm. So you're not allowed to eat it because the pig has a bad customs. They like to consume their dirts.
Okay, but some people say that we have the technology that we can kill the worm from the pork or pig. So why Islam is not allowed us to take something like that, something haram like pig, pork, or something else?
I've heard a word. You are what you eat. We are what we eat. If we eat something good, and it will surely affect to our body. So I don't know how far the technology has advanced, but as long as things are bad, it will stay bad. It will never change. If it's not from the will of Allah. So in this part that we said that the pork is forbidden because it's not healthy for you to eat it. So we can understand that Allah has created anything on the earth within the limits. There are limitations. We could not possess anything. We could not eat anything. So that's why wala tusrifu. So it has the connection to it because if the men are allowed to eat anything, including those which are forbidden, so it's basically allowing people to eat anything on the earth. So Allah said, "Wala tusrifu." So it's part of the prohibition because we are the human being on this earth, or we are the Khalifa. We are the runner of the earth, so that we need to survive. We need to survive by obeying what Allah say in His commands and stay away from what is from His prohibitions.
Okay, that's all.
I think so.
Okay, give me the conclusion.
So the first thing I want to say that Allah has declared that in Islam there are things that we could not eat, and there are things we could eat. So to make it simple, then Allah make two terms for it. So it's halal and it's haram. And then the authority of declaring or determining whether it is haram or halal, it's all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one could ever determine thing or say it's haram or say it's halal. All things are written in the book of Quran. So we should obey the commands and we should stay away from the prohibitions.
Okay.
So those are two conclusions from me.
Okay, that's it. So thank you and say Sadaqallah.
Sadaqallah.
Afwan, peserta sebelum keluar